All right, yes, people, welcome to the Real Talk Football TV Premier League Debate Show podcast. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel so it can grow. Got Tobias 1906, myself, Shaq in the building. All right, we'll go straight into it. Super League is back. Yeah, Super League is back. If you look at the format of the Super League, they're basically saying they want 80 teams, 14 games a season. It goes by history and performance in the league. And that happens every year. And they say that will generate so much money. Is it just money grabbing because they know they can't compete with the Super League? Or do you guys think that's a good idea?
Well, first of all, I want to know what their theme tune is because what's going on here? No, like you're taking away the Champions League theme tune. This is what they failed to realize. The name's dead. Super League.
Yeah, straight.
Like, everything about it, like it's just dead. Like then you want to take away the theme tune. I equate it to. Remember back in the day when ITV got Match of the Day. How dead was it? How dead was it? We used to what we used to, innit? So that's it.
True.
Football's very traditional in that way. We don't like change.
It was the big match, wasn't it?
But we know the one point is that the main loser is going to be the fan.
Yeah.
Because all of this really is it's about big corporations, rich people fighting about money. This is it. They want someone else wants a piece of the pie because football's it earns so much money.
Straight.
So that's what it's all about. And then you add into the fact that Real Madrid, the Barcelonas, they've done what they've done in their league for so long, where they've been king of the castle, and they've created their own they've been allowed to generate their own revenue, and it's been okay then. Obviously, the change with the Premier League, etc. The money in football nowadays, for me, it's the same nonsense, but just remixed.
But don't you think Tobias, it's basically they can't compete with the Premier League. That's what it comes down to. And they know the Premier League's taken over. The Premier League as a brand is just massive. It just dwarfs the La Liga, dwarfs Serie A. They know they actually can't compete with the Premier League. The Premier League's too powerful. And two, it's not a Super League without the Premier League. It's not a Super League without Liverpool, without Man United, without Chelsea, without Arsenal. You have to have these guys in the Super League.
What will change in that regard? Because the Premiership teams, if they are in the Super League, are still going to get the same sort of revenue. So it's not really going to help anyone, is it? You're still on the same playing field. The problem is that Real Madrid and Barcelona, if we take, for example, especially Barcelona, have been mismanaged. So they think they've got this given right to, just because of history, stay at the top of the tree. Well, that's not how it works. Yeah. Do you know what I'm saying? Right. If you F up, that's your business. Go to the bottom, start again. There's plenty of clubs over the years that had to do it.
But it just comes down to now.
Would it be the same schedule as the Champions League? Like the Tuesdays, Wednesday, Thursdays? Because obviously you still got the Europa and everything else.
I don't know. I don't know if it's got that far. But all I know is basically they just want. It's basically a glorified friendly. So if you do win, you've won. But it's easy to get back in next year. So it's a bit like, say, the NBA. So NBA, there's no relegation. So you basically play regular season games. And
it's like a league. It's a league, isn't it?
But there's no
and everything else.
But there's no relegation. So it's just every year the big teams are in it. Every year the big teams generate money.
I thought this one there would be.
We don't know the format
yet. Additional, depending on how teams do in their league. I thought there would always be a little rotation of teams in some way.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So it's a bit like a franchise of, say, the NBA. So the NBA, there's no relegation. So you've got the Eastern Conference and the Western Conference. And the Western Conference players play each other every year. You can come bottom every year and nothing happens. And you still generate money. And that's how that's how the Super League's going to be run. So it's going to be 80 teams, multi-league, 14 games a season. You might win that league, you generate money, and then you go back again next year. But it just secures that the top teams always get the bigger part of the pie every single year. So they always will be on top.
Yeah, but is that the same format though? Because now if they're looking at introducing 80 teams, I don't know where they're getting 80
That's
from.
what I'm saying. It must be based on league performance.
No, but it's not. No. That's what I'm saying. They're not. It's not based on league performance. It's based by basically history. So anybody can enter. Yeah, anybody could enter into it. So you can have the top size, or you could have an Everton, or I don't know, or Wolves. Anyone can enter it. So there's no like exclusive member. But they're only doing it because they can't compete with the Premier League. It's just too much money. The money that the brand of the Premier League have got, they can't compete. And the thing is, Real Madrid have been arrogant for so long. I remember, are we forgetting when this Real Madrid team had Raul, Brazilian Ronaldo, Zidane, Figo, all on one side. And they used to brag about, we were going to buy a superstar every season.
Well, Galacticos, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, Florentino Perez used to tap up players so arrogantly for years. And then the players will go there. Now they can't do that now. They don't have the power like they used to. And they're saying, oh shit, we can't compete. And especially if Manchester United and Liverpool get taken over by state-owned Qatari or Saudi businessmen and women. Imagine if that happens.
Yeah, but then it's a separate conversation. But do you want that?
I don't know.
I don't mind if it means Nunes is out and Holy Power man, and just I could do with that money.
You know what? I just think at the moment, if you want to compete, you have to join. You have to. You can't compete because we know, especially we're going to come on to the Man City thing in a minute, but especially say Man City don't get the sanctions they deserve. So basically, you can cheat your way through. You've got to. You can't. With this model, Manchester United and Liverpool especially cannot compete with the others if they stay with the chairmen they've got. No. They can't. It's as simple as you can't. You can't compete. But even that's now going on to the second part about Manchester City. What do you think the sanctions of Man City should have?
Well, the fact that you can't compete with what Man City's done legally, do you know what I mean, says it all. Basically, me, not just being a Liverpool fan, but I just think justice is justice. But I think all titles should be given to us in the last, 4 years. Personally.
Well, even when you didn't finish second, that's what you're saying, yeah?
No, whenever we finish second, it should be ours. Whoever finished second in the last 5 years, 6 years, let's go back 7 years. When were we good? When we start chasing them, met Shaq.
So it's a 10-year period. Over 100 sanctions have been
and crackers.
100 sanctions. That's a 10-year period. So a decade of sanctions of basically alleged. But if it's true, 10 years of cheating.
Smoke and fire.
100%. So 10 years of cheating. If they have been accused, but if they've been found guilty, 10 years of cheating, messing up financial records, just basically doing what they want. Do the Premier League have to throw the book at them? Where they got to start like from the beginning, like how AFC Wimbledon had to.
Relegation. But AFC Wimbledon didn't, isn't it? That's what it's about. The fans just started an offset because Wimbledon are basically MK Dons. They only just moved stadium, didn't they?
Yeah,
it's only because the fans didn't have it.
Yeah, but Wimbledon would have not been Wimbledon. They moved to MK Dons, but if the fans didn't start it up, Wimbledon would have been finished.
Yeah, but so who does Wimbledon's history stay with then? Does it stay with MK Dons or does it stay with AFC Wimbledon?
It's got to stay with AFC Wimbledon because they're the real fans. No one's supported MK Dons. But that's a different. But that's kind of a different subject. But I'm just saying, for example, they had to start again. Don't you think Man City have to start again? If you've got a decade, over 100 charges, don't you think they've got to be kicked out? I don't even think they should be in the Championship. Personally, I think they should go straight to the National League.
But then hasn't this investigation been going on for over 4 years?
Yeah.
Why is it taking so long?
But it's basically 10 years.
Offshore business they have to dig up.
Bruv, this is so complex, and you're messing with guys who have got super money. So this you can't do this over 5-6 months. This has got to take years because Man City are going to come with the super lawyers. They're going to put super money in. So you've got to make sure you have your case down to a T. You can't get anything.
So do you think that if they do get sanctioned, that they're going to start at the bottom of the pyramid?
I think they need to be needs to be kicked out of the league. I think they will. I don't think Man City can get like a 15-20 point deduction.
No.
That sends out the wrong message to any of the other teams. So Newcastle could say, you know what? F it. All right, we'll take that 15 point. But if that means that we could catapult our team into winning the league or getting into the Champions League regular, we just fiddle the financial records. Simple as.
I think a relegation and a 2-season window ban.
It's not as easy as that, don't it? Because then the Championship or the Football League have got to accept them because Premier League's a separate entity, isn't it? They only have to take who's relegated. So it doesn't. This is why it's complex, isn't it?
No, whoever comes up, and then most points at bottom 3 stays up. City go down. Simple.
But that's what I'm saying. So what I'm saying is that it can't be the Championship. It's got to be the National League. A bit like Rangers when Rangers went all the way back down to the bottom and had to come their way up. Because what you just said, that the Championship don't have to actually take them. Because it's Premier League and the EFL is completely different. So
it's one season, and then it's unfair on the Championship.
Yeah, and they're gonna come back up. So that's why I'm saying to make it a super example out of them to show all the other clubs we're not messing about. They need to go straight down into the National League, bit like Rangers, 4th division they started and come their way up.
What happened with Juventus? How many leagues did they drop? Is only one.
They dropped to Serie B.
One.
And they got like a 15-point deduction, I think they got.
I think there should be a ban for a cap on 2 transfer windows.
No, that's too easy.
At least.
No
At
way.
least. Relegation.
That's not making an example. That's not making an example out of someone. Newcastle will take 2 transfer windows. Chelsea had a transfer window ban a few years back, and it was nowhere near as
I'm thinking, but you know what Pep's like though, do you know what I mean? He likes to freshen up and shit. Down in that Championship, you're treading in mud down there. Do you know what I mean? He
can play the kids. He can play the kids. He can
play the other 21s to get out of the league. Simple as. You can play the kids.
They're all on loan at Burnley anyway.
What needs to happen to make it a super example is they get straight down to the National League. All their players leave. All the Pep leaves, and they've got to start again. At the end of the day, it's Man City. Man City are not a big club. Man City, this ain't Man United or Liverpool or Arsenal or even Chelsea, where you kind of need them in the league. Where if it was a Man United or Liverpool, it must be like a 15-point deduction.
Yeah, you're not seeing their tops on the high street.
You don't need no team in the league, though.
You do. Of course you do.
You don't need Man U or Liverpool in the league, man.
Bro, of course you do. They're the biggest clubs. They're the biggest clubs in the league, in the world, in
you
Europe.
Need them in the league, man. So
but
they're not in the league. No one watches the league.
They don't watch it as much.
That's
it's not cap, bruv. The revenue will go down. So if Man United are not in this league, they've been put down to the National League. There'll be more publicity on Man United than most of the other clubs because everybody be like looking at Man United. It was a bit like when Rangers went down. Everybody's talking about Rangers.
But I tell you one. Everyone will still watch Premier League, though.
Yeah, but they won't. The revenue will go down. The revenue will go down worldwide. Look at the fan base in Manchester United or Liverpool. You think they are watching? No, but do you think Man United fans or fans in general are going to watch Man United versus Altrincham or Man United versus Maidstone?
Exactly. So they still watch the Premier League.
Yeah, but they
I would still watch the Premier League.
Yeah, you will still watch the Premier League, but it won't have that much interest. It won't have the interest.
Yeah, but then that doesn't deter from the fact that I watch it.
Yeah, but I still think I still think the revenue will go down. I think audience will go down.
No. I don't think I think it's irrespective of whatever club it is, isn't it?
Anyone could go missing.
Yeah,
if we were to go missing, Do you know what I mean? It won't be the biggest thing in the world. People will still be watching. You still watch your Arsenal Tottenham games. People will still be watching. You know, it's football.
I hear you. But I do think they need to make an example out of Man City just to show the whole of the league, like, we're not messing about. I think they should be going down to the National League.
So do you want the sanctions to be them to go down to the National League and you to get the leagues? Or
No, that's too messy. You know what? That's be more of a banner. We'll be more bannered already. Like, we'll be killing us even more. You only go in leagues when Man City forfeit. Now they can keep the leagues. They can keep the leagues and keep all the cups what they've won. But what they need to do is make an example, put them in the National League. All right, guys, what do you think about the Super League? Do you think the Super League is a good idea, a bad idea, or do you think Man City should be kicked down the league, Championship, League One, League Two, or National League? So make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. We are Real Talk Football TV, and we are out.